Some very sad news coming in this evening. Mr. Faqir Chand Kohli, FC Kohli as we know him, often regarded as the father of India's IT industry. He was also the founder and the first CEO of TCS, India's largest software exporter, passed away at the age of 96. We are now joined by S Ramadorai, another veteran of the Tata Group and also former CEO of TCS, who has worked closely with Mr. Kohli in the past. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us on T Now. I want to start by offering my condolences to you. You have worked very closely with Mr. FC Kohli in the past. Take us through what his legacy really means for India, for the IT industry, because whoever I have been speaking to has spoken so much about his vision, how he was really the father of the industry, the architect of the IT industry as we know it today.
So Kohli was a brilliant technocrat and a visionary business leader who had the nation at heart. Ever since he came back from the US to take up a job with the Tata Group, what he built within the Tata Group itself and for the nation and IT industry, which we are all very proud of. Not only it's a sad loss for the nation, but personally for me and my family, because he was a mentor, guide, and a very, very close family friend.
Right. And from whatever I read, I have been reading about him in the last few years. Looks like he was very active right till the end. In a recent interview, he said, I was extremely active till 94, then I had to be a little cautious. But he was very vocal with his views, had very strong views on various subjects. He also seemed to have a nice self-deprecating sense of humor. How do you remember him, sir?
I think always remember him as something, every meeting with him, every interaction with him, every phone call with him, or every mail exchange with him was always something to learn. I think the ability to learn on a daily basis, hunger for learning is what he taught all of us and personally me. I think the curiosity, the enthusiasm, the innovative mind and creative mind always kept him young, both in mind and the physical abilities. I think very rare people you will see at this kind of an age, namely 96, 97, who was still reading. His only regret was he was not able to walk as much or play golf as much.
Right. One industry veteran I spoke to said that millions of men and women in the IT industry really owe high quality paying jobs to him because he was also someone who pioneered the concept of night shifts for women. And the IT industry is one of the largest employers when it comes to women today at a time when all of us are talking about diversity at a global level. Take us through some of these beliefs of his on how he sort of wanted to create employment at scale across genders.
I think the fundamental thing he believed when he came back to India was two things. One is the human capital of this nation. For every 10 people that who immigrate, he said there are at least 100 Indians who are based in India who can learn anything that is part of the world and then apply it. So his whole idea was how do you build these young entrepreneurs, young graduates for world-class levels, and his benchmark was always world-class to the developed world rather than me too. Second point he believed fundamentally was in nation building and the power of technology which could be applied with the human capital I talked about within the Indian context. I think he was so passionate about the learnings and the application of technology, the highest level of technology to the Indian context. That is how he developed professional managers. That's how he encouraged the youth, irrespective of the gender. He was always meeting everybody or understanding everybody on the professional competence and ability rather than any other mechanism or any other evaluation. To us who have been professionally mentored, coached by him, we owe a lot to him to what we are today and where this nation is headed. And we'll always remember him for these things. which is amazing ability to develop the professional competence of every single individual in this country, whomsoever he touched.
So what was his reaction to every milestone that TCS would clock? Because I mean, he was the founder and the first CEO, and TCS became $100 billion company in market cap just a few months ago. Was it perhaps his biggest source of pride and joy? What was his next dream for TCS?
Well, I think he always measured by the professional competence of the organization and the number of professionals one can develop. And if they are proficient in technology with the right competency, with the right value systems, and the energy level with a passion, we will only go places. And he never thought of only TCS. He thought of this nation, like I said, and then this whole organizations and the IT industry in the country. But more importantly, because of his diverse interest in multiple subjects, for him, application of technology to every one of these fields, whether it was for education, whether it was for health, whether it was for social, agriculture, I think he would engage with you any amount of time, very passionate, and diversity of his reading, diversity of his capabilities is what was the most critical need of the hour. And he was a man who could bring all of them together, and multiple people from multiple disciplines together was his greatest contribution, I would say.
Right. What can business leaders, millennials today learn from Mr. FC Kohli and the legacy he leaves behind?
I think remember him for the kind of things he was willing to share with people. If you are a voracious reader, he would throw a lot of things for you to read. If you wanted to engage in a very professional learning and you said that I want to learn this particular topic, he would say, go to this master, go to this teacher, go and attend this class. If somebody said that I'm not interested, I want to do something else in a new discipline, he was patient enough to say, don't worry, just go into research for a little while, take your own time, come back after 1 or 2 years, and then you'll get back and bounce back. The human qualities and the potential of human beings and the individuals was his greatest understanding. And he could see that spark in people whenever he met with them, irrespective of gender, irrespective of the strata of society they came from, irrespective of the part of the country they came from. So I think he was a human being who could see the potential of everyone and share the knowledge which he had acquired and wanting them to read and share the same way with others.
Right. Finally, sir, before I let you go, when was the last time you had a chance to interact, meet, or speak to Mr. Kohli? What was perhaps running through his mind? Were there some pet projects or interest?
No, I had the habit of talking to him at least once a month. And then I spoke with him about a month ago. And the latest conversations always were on, please stay in touch. I'm so happy to receive a call from you. We remember the old times, what we have built. So he would always reminiscence the past times. More importantly, the joy I could see even through the telephone. The man was relating to you and wanting you to connect with him more often, because at that age, very few people connect with them was the underlying message. So I used to make it a point to connect with him or tell others, please call him whenever you get time who knew him.
Thank you very much for sharing your memories with ET Now and the learnings for all of us from him.
Yeah, the kind of messages I'm already getting from across the people, across different sectors, shows their affection for that man. Thank you.